everybody. Are you ready for Reiki Lesson 2?
Yay!
I hope so. Look, it's me! This is Madame Takata. And she is the woman who is credited with having brought Reiki to the Western world. And she was living on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. So Madame Takata, she was 1900 to 1980. And she studied with Dr. Usui. And the Reiki that we are learning is called Usui, U-S-U-I, Usui Reiki. And this is Dr. Usui, 1865 to 1926, founder of Reiki Ryoho Association, okay? And Usui taught Dr. Hayashi.
Yay!
And that was one of his main students, though he actually had several. We have been working with Lisa, who has learned Reiki and been attuned to it. And also the first symbol of Sei Hei Ki 1 opens and balances on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And she has also been attuned to this symbol. Now we are working on symbol number 2. But first of all, I want everyone to know the 5 principles of Reiki. This is essentially how, as Reiki practitioners, teachers, healers, we strive to live, to walk the talk and to live the life and to be no cause of grief to anyone. These principles are, just for today, do not worry. If you can do something about it, do it. If you cannot, do surrender, let go and let God do surrender. God being good, orderly direction. Principle number 2, just for today, do not anger. Always underneath anger is
Fear.
Fear. Fear. False evidence appearing real. Fear. Okay, if you can figure out what the fear is under the anger and address that, the issue may very well drop to the floor. Third principle, honor your parents, teachers, and elders, and ancestors. Honor your parents, teachers, and elders. Ya Baha. 4, make your living honestly, whatever that looks like. And that can be all the way from dumpster diving to being a CEO and anything in between. So earn your living honestly. And 5 is show gratitude to everything that has life, from nanotechnology to mosquitoes.
Okay, this is going too far now, Lily.
I
This
come on this journey.
Yeah, plus we quit. We
Wondered what kind of a response I'd get. Reiki symbol. The first Reiki symbol, called the Reiki gate, is Reiki. Reiki. It is used to open and anchor the basic Reiki channeling and healing ability. With each Reiki symbol also comes a spiritual, personal, or karmic lesson. So that is something to be aware of. There will be some sort of growth. There always is. And that's why I tend to take teaching rather slowly rather than doing a weekend warrior routine because you can get too much too fast and just kind of easing into it. And that's what we've been doing. Each symbol reveals itself to the student healer as to its unique function. As Reiki masters, we understand that each Reiki symbol has a basic, understood application. And each symbol tends to have an individual purpose as it is used by Reiki healers. The symbols function as a way to aid the mind of a healer to project or send forth Reiki. Each symbol is drawn in the air with the hands or fingers and visualized in shape and color, and then is mentally projected into the patient's body. When this is done, then the Reiki energy follows and radiates from the symbol, powering its function and accomplishing the symbol's healing task. And this is what we have been working with, is Sei Hei Ki. Sei Hei Ki 1 is what Lisa was attuned to this evening. This symbol creates a link with the divine Reiki spirit. It opens and balances the 4 aspects of our being: the spiritual form, mental, emotional, and physical body. Now, what we are working with is the second, Sei Hei Ki. This is another common version also used for a similar purpose. Sei Hei Ki. This symbol opens the forms of our body and releases dark, sick, or stagnant chi energy. Yes, darling. It gathers and draws forth trauma or the negative chi and replaces it with a powerful wave of pure Reiki infusing and healing. And what I like to say is Sei Hei Ki 2, removing chaotic, traumatic energies, removing the trauma and the drama. No longer having to dance in that energy. One of the things that can happen is if you enter a place and you can almost cut the tension with a knife, you can feel it bouncing off of the walls. You don't have to do anything outwardly. You can just go into yourself. No one has to know you're doing anything. And you can just utilize the symbol Sei Hei Ki 2. Sei Hei Ki, Sei Hei Ki, Sei Hei Ki. Removing traumatic, dramatic energies in order to have that energy go down and dissipate and become more serene and tranquil. And nobody has to know that you've done anything. And we're only doing these sorts of things for the highest and best for all concerned. Always when working on a student, a patient, a healer, we ask permission. Are you willing to receive this energy? And if they are, fabulous. And if they aren't, fabulous. It's not your business. Your business is to send the energy. Their business if they choose to receive it.
Okay, and now it's time to learn how to draw Sei Hei Ki 2. But first, we're just going to begin with a review of how to draw Sei Hei Ki 1. And I wanted to offer a couple more images that you might utilize to help you remember how to draw the symbol. These are ones that Lilli often uses. So just as a reminder, the first Sei Hei Ki 1 has 7 movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It opens and balances on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. And something that Lilli will often say is the very first part of the symbol resembles the profile of a face. So you can think of 1, 2 as a nose, 1, 2, 3 can be the upper lip, and scoop, 4 can be the mouth. So 1, 2 nose, 3 upper lip, and scoop is 4 the mouth. And in the last video, Lilli talked about this looking like teddy bear ears. 5, 6 teddy bear ears, 7 teddy bear ear. Another image that she'll sometimes give that really stuck with me is that it's like you're a lady, a rotund lady, and you are sunbathing and you're looking down at your body, and there's your belly, and you got a couple boobs. So profile and some boobs. I mean, that can help. That helped me remember it. Anyway, so 7 movements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And something that might be useful to just hear at this point is that everybody is going to draw them slightly differently. Just like as in handwriting, there will be little variations that will come up. Proportions might shift and change. So you might notice 2 people attempting to draw the same symbol and there will be little variations, and that's absolutely fine. That's source, spirit, Reiki energy, which is of love, knows your intention and will work for you. So that's Sei Hei Ki 1. Okay, and now here is Sei Hei Ki 2. And you might notice that it looks quite a bit like Sei Hei Ki 1. The only difference with this is that there is an extra movement. See if you can spot where it is. Bloop. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3. That's all the same. Then there's this extra line here, which is a 4. Then you do the scoop, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I like to think of this first little bit almost like it's a lightning bolt. So this symbol is used for removing chaotic, traumatic energies. Lilli often will throw in there dramatic. So you're removing the chaos, the drama, the trauma, all that kind of energy. So I think of it, this first symbol, as I'm almost cutting it out, cutting out the drama, cutting out the drama. 1, 2, 3, 4, lightning bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, just cutting it out. Scoop for the 5, calling in what I do want. 6, scooping it in. 7, scooping it in. 8, scooping it in. And in this, the way that this one is drawn out, this curve is a very subtle curve. It can be as big. I tend to do a little bit more of a clear curve there. But again, everybody's variations will be slightly different. And as these videos go on, you will see the symbol drawn out by various people, and you'll notice tiny little fluctuations in that. So just as a reminder, one more time, this one has 8 movements. Sei Hei Ki 1 has 7 movements. This one has 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, scoop, 5, scoop, 6, scoop, 7, and scoop, 8. And I think I kind of do these sometimes as a dance. Even back in my 20s when I was learning Reiki, if I was out at the club, and I was suddenly feeling, you know, all this old traumatic energy, I use this for kind of old thought patterns.
Oh, good.
old behaviors, stuck energy, old traumas,
Yes.
stories that I'm telling myself that were based in some sort of crazy trauma moment that no
Right.
longer exists,
Right.
I would actually make a dance of that on the floor. So I would be moving my body, my whole body in that symbol, and kind of doing it with an exhale.
Yes.
So I was drawing it in the air around me, and nobody knows except they're just like, that girl's kooky, but they're gonna think that anyway. But it would really work. I could really feel that I was cutting with those first ones, the 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, 4 cut, and now I can be soft with it with that last scoop. And then I got 1 more big scoop out to the side of that and a couple little mini scoops. I'm just cleaning up the last little residue of that little trauma moment.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. Fabulous. So the first Sei Hei Ki has 7 movements. The Sei Hei Ki 2 has 8 movements. Remember also that 8 is strength in the tarot. Okay? And that is taking the beast and gentling it into a lamb.
Oh,
Okay?
that's very appropriate for this one.
And 7 is the traveler.
Okay.
Okay, and the traveler is like when you're going places, when you're going to accomplish a great work.
Right.
Okay? Right.
Because I kind of think that first one opens and balances on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. I do feel that I use that when I want to be aligned,
Yes.
because there's some task that I am doing that requires me to bring all of myself.
Yes.
And I need to bring my intellect, I need to bring my heart, I need to bring my spirit, I need to be physically present, and that's interesting. And then the second one is usually just in those moments where I'm like, ooh, triggered.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So what I want you to work on is Sei Hei Ki 2 plus the 5 principles. I want you to memorize them so that you know these backwards and forwards by the time we meet again. And I don't want you to forget what you just learned, because when you come back, I'll be expecting you to show me from the get-go. Reiki, Sei Hei Ki 1, Sei Hei Ki 2, and the 5 principles. So I want to know that you know them without looking at your notebook. Does that sound good? Okay, okay.
And I'm wondering, Lilli, if this resonates with you. As you were saying that, I was thinking of, in some pagan traditions, they'll use salt to absorb negativity.
Right.
Would you say Sei Hei Ki 2 kind of has that similar quality of it sucks out the negative energy so that positive can flow?
Yes. And remember, salt is a crystal. Okay?
Right.
So salt is healing. So one of the things that I have people do if they feel that negative energy has entered their space is to go through and smudge. And you can use sage, tobacco, whatever, and just smudge with just like a shower, and just do it in every nook and cranny of your home. And then after you've cleansed the space, then take salt, which is a crystal, and put it on your portals, which would be like windowsills, door, what do you call those, joists? I mean, your door openings, okay? So that you've exited that old negative energy, and now you're being protected.
And would you, as a Reiki master, also be saying the Sei Hei Ki 2, or would you be doing kind of all the symbols as you were cleansing?
I tend to do whatever comes to me to do. Okay, I'm always, in my prayer work, I'm always asking, let thy will be done. Okay, may my will be thy will. So, yeah, whichever one comes to me. If it just comes to me to do Reiki, 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 that's fine too. Okay, but you'll be utilizing and learning all 9 symbols, including the mastery symbols. So, thank you very much, and I love you. Grateful that you're watching. Please tell your friends, your family, anybody who might have an interest, because this is one way to learn gratis, no cost. Because this is my legacy for my family, friends, and students. So I hope that you will endeavor to work with this, enjoy, and come back next week. Bye.